For the past few months, I have been looking for the best and the easiest solutions to the biggest problem facing controllers today. I've come to two solutions that are very, very grim, and I've discussed them before. You're either throwing the thumbstick the fuck away, throwing the thumbstick the fuck away again, or, alternative option, you're extending the life of the thumbstick itself by months, maybe years. We'll talk about it in a different video. It's super cool. Stay tuned. But today we're discussing the first option, which is throwing the thumbstick the fuck away, aka swappable module controllers. Specifically, the most requested swappable module controller on this channel, the Thrustmaster Eswap Pro. And yes, it's been requested more than the Astro C40. Somehow. With enough comments to make me want to commit... I don't know if I can say that without getting demonetized. With enough comments to give me cardiac arrest. Fair to say, didn't really have an option in reviewing this or not. I mean, yeah, I did, but I probably should, which is why I am. Sorry it's taken me so long, but today we're going to be taking a deep look at this thing, and I'll be detailing why I personally believe swappable module controllers are our easiest solution to stick drift. However, they're not the best. God, this jacket's so goddamn loud. I've said it many, many times before. At this point, I sound like a broken record, which you guys probably don't even know what records are. Are you aware of what CDs are? CDs, VHS, cassettes, these... Fuck you guys, it's not ringing any bells. I don't care. The solution to literally any situation ever should never ever be throw the issue away and buy another issue. But until someone starts making controllers that have anti-thumbstick drift features like this PCB, or until people start using different modules or different types of thumbstick modules for these controllers, we're kind of stuck here. And if you're a lazy bastard like me, swapping your thumbstick module out and buying another one for 20 bucks seems like pretty cool thing to do. I suppose we could start our review here, and yeah, you can buy yourself a brand new thumbstick or D-pad module from Thrustmaster for around 20 bucks. I think it's $17.99 to be exact. These magnetic modules can be configured any way you like. You got aids again, 3 thumbsticks, you name it. Unfortunately, you can't remove the ABXY buttons and swap them over for whatever reason. It's fine. I kind of wanted to try them on the other side, but I'll just go fuck myself. It's getting hot. I need a transition slide. I dropped the fucking thumbstick. Where is it? Okay. The Eswap X Pro comes in at about 2 of your monthly phone bill at $160. Or $20 less than that fat guy down the street. At $160, you're getting a reliable, fully loaded Pro controller with every last button being rated for upwards of 5 million clicks. Alright. The actual specs themselves are not as impressive as that number. By that, I mean the competitive specs. You've heard them 1,000 times before. We're going to run through them, all the trigger stops and thumb stickies and shitties. Don't worry, I'm not one of those tech channels that labels my shit honest review. Then I just sit there, name all the specs, and then bitch about the things I don't like. That isn't a review. But with the Eswap Pro, you're getting 4 remappable buttons, 2-way trigger stops, tactile ABXY buttons that are dead ass perfect, we'll talk more about it later, 2 onboard profiles with a profile switcher, volume and mute controls, as well as full software customization, and last but certainly not least, you are getting some of the most accurate thumbsticks available today. What the fuck? Bro! So, I'm going to link you guys this video, which I'm pretty sure some of you who are watching this video have seen this one before. These are what Thrustmaster calls its NXG mini sticks, or next generation mini sticks. And according to the video I had linked in the corner, which will be down in the description, these are some of the most accurate thumbsticks available today, if not the most accurate ones on the market. Rocket Science did a bunch of different tests on a bunch of different things like accuracy, recentering, speed, things that a lot of people wouldn't really take into account. All that information is extremely valuable though, and I will encourage you guys, while I don't agree with everything he said, which I never agree with anybody, I do still encourage you guys to go watch that video. It has some very valuable information in it, and the Thrustmaster Eswap Pro basically takes the cake everywhere. Not everywhere, literally, but in a lot of situations, yeah. These sticks kind of remind me of the Elite Series 2, not the way they feel like in terms of tension or accuracy, but the anti-friction ring really does provide some anti-friction. They're very, very smooth. They're by far the most accurate experience I've ever had in a controller, right up there with something like a PS5 controller, and their thumbstick design is entirely custom with screw-on mechanisms so you can use concave or convex sticks, some nice rubber caps, what feels like a decent bit of tension. They are really, really, really well built. So well built that Thrustmaster claims they are rated for up to 2 million clicks. Oh, Pump the brakes. Don't you dare lie to my fucking face. What year do you think this is? I have the internet. I know what's going on out there. 2 million clicks my ass. I see some mechanical keyboards rated for 3 million clicks, and that usually lasts like a year. No goddamn way these things are lasting that long. Stop turning off! You guys will get to see the NXG mini sticks in my COD gameplay, whenever that is, but there is something I would like to say, and there is something I'd like to bring to a lot of people's attention. Just like how the Batman needs Joker, a Pro controller that has good thumbsticks needs good buttons underneath the controller in order to be utilized properly. Unfortunately, this is something Thrustmaster struggles with for no reason. Let's just get through it. Now, I heavily enjoy the eSwap X Pro. I'd also like to point out that every time I'm about to shit on something for one reason or another, I always compliment it first. For people having reliability issues, I couldn't really recommend anything more. But we have some problems. First up, just like the PS5, this controller is way too motherfucking big. Way too big to be a wired controller, that is, as well. Way too heavy to be a wired controller. This is not acceptable. Just like with PowerA, your wired controller should not weigh as much or more than wireless controllers. This is on par with the Elite Series 2. Wired controller, not wireless. It's also as big as those arcade steering wheels you have at the fucking arcade. What else was I gonna say there? Am I stupid? I just don't see what manufacturer's obsession is with making these wired controllers feel like wireless controllers. You realize you're just fucking us over at the end of the day, right? And like I said at the end of last segment, all good thumbsticks need good buttons to be actually useful. The buttons underneath the eSwap Pro feel like praying mantises put them there. Who on your design team do these buttons fit? They're super close together, they're on the bottom, they're not even like properly centered, and I know, some people are gonna be like, Kuda, you like the Razer Wolverine Ultimate, its buttons are in the middle, you're a bastard, you know? And while yes, I am very hypocritical sometimes, this is not one of those times, because the Razer Wolverine Ultimate has a design with its buttons that make it easier. Watch me wrap my hands around the eSwap Pro. See how I have to stretch my hands all the way to the bottom of the controller to get to those buttons? Now watch me wrap my hands around the Razer Wolverine Ultimate. I don't have to stretch my hands for them to get to the bottom buttons. The bottom buttons are raised off the bottom. That's how they should be here. Or they should just do a battle beaver and put them on the side where it makes sense. But the whole premise of a Pro controller, in my opinion, before anything, is the buttons on the bottom. That way you don't have to take your thumbs off your thumbsticks. That's the number one thing. And if you're gonna fuck that up, at least fuck it up so that it's still usable. I mean, I use these buttons, and don't get me wrong, it's not like they're unusable. They're just really difficult to. And for people who haven't owned Pro controllers or who've only owned like an Elite controller, maybe a PowerA controller, this is not going to be fun. And if you have smaller hands, sorry to say it, it's probably going to be impossible. Every video I try to lightly cover the trigger stops and the triggers, so real quick, nothing eventful. Oh my god guys, the trigger stops click! The two-way trigger stops are solid, the triggers themselves are pretty tight in terms of tension. They're also not even. This is something rocket science also noticed. The software customizable portion of the triggers is something we'll discuss here later, but I want to turn your attention to these. These are some of the baddest ABXY buttons ever. They're so terrible, my wife left me. I'm just kidding. They're actually great. They're actually my favorite ABXY buttons I've ever used, because I've only discussed 2 controllers on this channel prior that have mechanical ABXY buttons like this. The Razer Wolverine Tournament Edition, the Razer Wolverine Ultimate. Both controllers are on polar ends of the spectrum, like female emotions. The Razer Wolverine Tournament Edition has some of the most difficult ABXY buttons to press ever, just hands down. The Razer Wolverine Ultimate, on the other hand, has some of the easiest. Both are tactile, but not like you would think. These are how you would imagine tactile ABXY buttons to be. Stable, with a good click, some nice sound to it, but not too much.
Never too much, never too much.
Software portion of the video, you guys know how I feel about this. Software fucking sucks. And by it sucks, I mean it just takes too much time out of the video. Here's a full tutorial that somebody made, whoever it is, I'll give them credit, it'll be in the description. This is a full tutorial, so you guys will get an actual detailed experience, but real quick run through. You can customize the thumbstick dead zones in a very, very cool and unique way. You can customize the trigger dead zones to have instant triggers, vibration, button remapping, stored profiles, all that good jazz. You guys get the gist. I always forget at least one segue during recording. We will now be making our way to the gaming exhibit with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, multiplayer, and this badass game called SplitGate. It's pretty cool. Goddamn, man, the Eswap X Pro. Very interesting controller. I'm very, very impressed. I've been getting comments about this thing since, I'd say, late last year. Mid last year. Stop turning the fuck off, Jesus. But I really didn't expect to be this impressed with it. The swappable modules, granted, while they are a design I have kind of a problem with, because you're, again, just throwing the module away and buying a new one. You know, not literally, but you are, again, just replacing the problem instead of solving the problem. But for people who are having a really, really tough time with this stick drift experience, this is something that's very, very fruitful. I cannot thank you guys more for requesting this. This was a very, very interesting review. I'm sorry it wasn't as funny and hoo-hoo-hoo-ha-ha as my other reviews, but this is something I did want to just kind of be direct with. My apologies for it taking months for me to get the controller and then get this review out. It's been a real rough time, especially the time leading up to this video's recording. It's the 15th of August? Yeah. Last couple of weeks have been really, really tough. I made a post about it. Nana unfortunately passed away. So it's been a really weird time, but I would like to get back on the grind. I haven't been consistent in a very, very long time. Hopefully this is the start of that. Nana, I love you. I dedicate this to you. This whole video that's going to take me 18,000 hours to edit. Holy shit. And now I kind of want to join you. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to drop it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I don't know. Maybe I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.